Guys, it's me. I'm back.
What's up, party people?
We're like, Mads, come on. All right, this show is taking a turn for the. Oh.
Sweep the leg.
You know, one of these days, Jared's going to get tired of seeing that, but it does make me laugh every time Rafi hits me in the face. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Monster Bass Live. We got a great show for you today. We got Daniel Nussbaum from Z-Man on, and we're going to talk about the new 2023 lineup. We're going to introduce a new segment. You know, one of the things we do at Monster Bass is we think we help more people catch personal best than anyone else on the planet. And judging by the number of submissions we get every week, we think we're onto something. So we're going to share, we're going to bring someone on that caught their PB this week, or it recently caught their PB. We're going to share that video, and we're going to walk through it with you and let you experience what she was experiencing, the excitement around that, and what, you know, what she attributes to her able to land a double-digit bass. We got the golden tickets, as always, and so, you know, get those things handy. You've got an individually numbered golden ticket that showed up in your box, and we're going to call out about 6 of them today. And if I call out your number, you want a whole bunch of stuff. Your tackle box got a little bit crowded because I'm going to fill it up. So let's look at the chat. We got some good people. T-Rex, that never gets old. Yeah, that's because your boy Rafi smacked me in the face. He was cheating with the tortilla challenge. Mr. Gambit. All right, Mr. Gambit, I need you on your best behavior today. We got a very special guest. What else we got here? Oh, we got some good people in the chat. Okay. All right. So this week, we are prepping for the new year. And by prepping, you know, I take your feedback serious, guys, right? Like, I made a big pivot last year. You know, we really doubled down and committed to education because we think that's key, right? You can walk through the aisle at Bass Pro Shop. There's 100 baits that look exactly the same. Which one you pick and why is, you know, ends up being your decision. But we think that if we can educate you, show you how to use baits, we think you can make more informed decisions, have more fun out on the water, and that's what we're aiming to do, and we're going to continue that in 2023. So I was working on the schedule today because, you know, I want to get the team and down in Okeechobee, catch some big ones, and then we're going to have them out into the Delta. You know, we got Sam from More Media. We'll probably talk with a couple other guys, and you know, we want to continue to produce really quality content because I think that's what's going to separate us apart. You know, there's a lot of sites that have content, and I think a lot of them, make it really difficult for you to find the right stuff. So whether you're fishing from the bank, the kayak, or the boat, the time of year, or just the type of bait, right? If you're looking to fish a chatterbait, you want to know, you know, it's important to know whether you're fishing from a bank, a kayak, or a boat. It's important to know your skill level, time of year. And so we're about to roll something out that we think is unlike anything else. And it'll really tie together 500 plus instructional videos together. And then in terms of next season, when we start rolling out the videos with the team, I think you're going to see some new faces. I think you're going to continue to see great content. And hopefully we see a lot of PBs because, you know, that's what we're here for, right? So all about community, and there are no lead weights here. So did anyone see that last night on ESPN? I'm sitting where was I sitting? Oh, yeah, at a meeting last night. Every Wednesday after the meeting, we head down to the bar down the street. It's called Rocco's, and they have really great chicken wings. And it's I don't know if you want to call it my cheat day, but it's my day to, I get to go with the boys, eat some chicken wings, have a couple pops, and then go home. And there we are sitting talking about stuff, and, you know, they like to make fun of me because, you know, they all work in tech or they all work in Hollywood, and I work in fishing. And And lo and behold, there's Scott Van Pelt up on ESPN SportsCenter last night talking about the two guys and how they were brought up on charges. And it was pretty interesting to see on SportsCenter. It's definitely not something I thought we'd see in the highlight reel from Van Pelt. So, yeah, there we go. That was pretty interesting. So, as always, the hotline's going to be open. That means you, Jared. Turn on the hotline. Daniel doesn't know, but anytime something goes wrong, it's Jared's fault. So the hotline's not open. All right, so here's how it's going to work. I've got, what do I have in the garage that you took pictures of, Jared? Oh, I got a lot of new baits for 2023 from 1, 2, 3, 4. I got baits from 5 different brands that we photographed in the last week because we like to take our own photographs. That's my own personal thing. We've got baits from 5 brands. I'm going to put them all in a box, and every person that asks questions during the show today is going to get entered, and we're going to give one away before the end of the show. So it's going to be that easy. If there actually is a show, because Jared is, I think he's trying to figure out how to win a walleye contest in Ohio. What are you doing, Jared? We got a VIP guest here. Can we stack the $5 and $10 gift cards? I would love to say yes, but you can't. And that's not on me. That's on Shopify. Shopify is our e-commerce platform. They don't let you stack gift cards. But then again, most sites don't because, you know, at the end of the day, you stack promo code against promo code against promo code. And pretty soon, you know, I'm paying you to take a ChatterBait off the website. So that's just why you can't combine those things. So what kind of baits he wants to know. Everything from soft plastics to crankbaits to lipless. Some really beautiful medium diving crankbaits. The paint jobs on those lunker candies were amazing. There's a lipless from Vicious that I think I have the only ones outside of the Vicious warehouse in Indiana. I've got the new Bruiser Bait Square Bills. What else do I have? I have something from Kitech. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so as Dan said, everyone hit the like button. Plum. Do we offer a military discount? We absolutely do. I'll get that put up on the screen a little bit. We also have a plan in place where we're going to have a special offering just for military. And we've got something really special planned for Veterans Day, which is coming up. But let's not waste any time. Okay, let me answer this question. Brian Van, have we been able to ship this month's boxes? Yes, we started. Yeah, I mean, I thank you guys all for your patience. When I tell you that the boxes should have been there and ready, the boxes are always there and ready. But what they told me was that they put too much ink on the boxes. And so when they laid them all on the pallet, when they came off the press, they sat there and they said it was a hot day. And they didn't get them loaded on the truck fast enough, and evidently they stuck together. I mean, that's what they told me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I got to stick with it. So I thank you guys all for your patience. I hope you guys, enjoy that $5. Spend it at the store, buy something. Remember, the store is going away because I'm not an e-commerce website. I'm just selling the extras that I have when I purchase too much. And trust me, it's not a good thing when I purchase too much. The goal is inventory comes in, inventory goes out. I am not Tackle Warehouse. So that story is going away pretty soon. So good to see Gramps here. Gramps just put out a video with one of the new Z-Man baits that we're going to talk about today. And hopefully he'll call in and ask some big questions because all I watched on Gramps' video is him just laughing. Ha ha ha. I caught another one. Ha ha. I caught another one. Gramps. He's the guy. All right, guys. Let's not waste any time. First of all, is there anyone in the queue yet? I'm so disappointed in you guys. What are you doing? You're going to make me look bad. All right. Well, if you guys want to be that way, fine. All right. So our guest today is he is probably one of your favorite brands. I mean, he's the president and CEO, And we're really lucky here at Monster Bass Tacoma. Friend, he's a big supporter of what we're doing, and we're a big supporter of their brand. So let's give a big warm welcome for Daniel Nussbaum from Z-Man. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Rick?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. I appreciate you jumping on late in your time zone. So
yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock here, but yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be on here again.
Yeah, well, thanks. It's been about a year, and got a lot of exciting things going on, and we're excited to talk about it. We've been teasing the guys here in the live each week. Well, maybe not each week, but we've been talking a lot about the Z-Man takeover. And, each and every time we talk about it, Gramps jumps in. And I have a feeling you'll get to talk to Gramps today because he's a big Z-Man fan. And he keeps talking about that big bladed chatterbait and how we should be throwing that this time of year. So I don't know much about the big bladed chatterbait. Can you tell me about like how that came to be and why it's just different other than a big blade?
Right. Obviously it's got a bigger blade, and it's a much bigger blade. I think it's like 60 or 70% larger, in terms of surface area. Mm-hmm. But the reason that we came out with that bait, the one reason is because of Brian Thrift. Brian Thrift is, in my opinion, and probably in about everybody's opinion, is one of the best bass fishermen in the world.
For sure.
And he's the one that put the chatterbait on the map back in, I think it was like 2005, maybe, down at Okeechobee, when he, had like 100 pounds of fish over 4 days on the original chatterbait before anybody had one. He's been a friend of ours and a pro staffer of ours since then. And I guess it was probably about 3 years ago, Brian came to us and said, you need to do this bait with a bigger blade. And I guess he had some prototypes made back in the day, and still had a few of the blades, was making them himself, and in cold water, muddy water, it's just the deal. And so Brian basically strong-armed us into making the thing, I think, so he could have it.
You're right.
Yeah. So he didn't have to make them himself and, put them together and tie all the skirts himself. So we made it completely to his specs. It's got like a 6/0 hook. It's like a gaff of a hook, hand-tied skirts with copper wire, just like he likes. And it's, kind of the original style head with a bigger blade, and all the colors are, kind of his creations. He actually sent us the baits that he was tying himself, and we matched all the colors. It was pretty cool to work with him on that.
Nice. Why does that bait excel in colder weather? I know you can fish it year round, but I keep hearing that bait excels in colder weather.
Yeah, I think it's just, the combination of cold, muddy water, pre-spawn. It's something when the fish might be a little bit sluggish, a little bit lethargic, a little bit, hard to get their attention, in dirtier water. It just wakes them up. The amount of vibration that bait has, I didn't really believe it until I fished it myself. But, if you throw the thing all day, your arm is like, vibrating at the end of the day from that thing. You watch the rod tip and it's like doing this the whole time you're fishing it. It's just crazy the amount of vibration that it puts out.
Now, you guys recently, I know it's been a little bit, but you guys recently announced the new lineup for 2023. Thank you, Jared. The new lineup of baits for 2023, and there were some really interesting additions to it. And one that I thought was really interesting was the panfish baits, or the finesse baits, right? This isn't
the micro finesse stuff.
Yeah. Am I mistaken in that Z-Man had previously been in that space, maybe took a pause and then came back, or have you always been in it and it's just never been, brought to the forefront the way that it feels like this year it has?
Yeah, we've done some little stuff before, but it's been, kind of scattershot. Like, we've got a little 2-inch grub, and we've got, all the Ned rig stuff, which is a little bit bigger than this micro finesse series. But we'd never really made like a big, real push towards that, kind of the panfish, crappie market. And, when we were thinking about it and talking about it, the one thing that struck us is that, one, it's been, a category that's been pretty underserved recently. When was the last time there was anything like new and exciting in panfish and crappie baits? It's been a while. It's just the same stuff that's been around for years that people are using. And number two is that, little baits like that, it's not just for going out and catching bluegills. It's not just for catching crappie, but it's like a real, multi-species thing that works for everything around the world. And that's what kind of caused us to take a real, good hard look at that. Because the bulk of what we sell in that series is probably going to be guys crappie fishing. But what's been really cool when we launched this whole product line, the guys in Europe are going nuts over this for like their perch fishing, and the guys in South Florida, fishing in canals are catching like peacock bass and snakeheads and all kind of exotics on it. The guys in Australia, they've got a fish they call a brim that's like a saltwater fish. They're using it. People are using them for trout. So we didn't want to like pigeonhole it, just for certain species. But one thing we saw when we came out with the Ned Rig stuff is, people use little baits and catch a lot of fish. So, why wouldn't they use, smaller baits? And it's all about, people enjoying fishing and going out and having an easy time catching a lot of fish without having to use natural bait. That's kind of what these baits were designed to do.
Right on. Well, before we go any further, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Liquid Death, for keeping me hydrated with mountain water that comes in a can. Who would have thought? It just got valued at $700 million. It's water that comes in a can. And thankfully, they're right upstairs, so they just keep me filled up. So thank you, guys. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Hellraiser. It's something totally unique and not what I expected. Can you tell us a little bit about that bait and how it came to be?
Yeah, so this is another one. It's got a cool backstory, and it's not something that we come up with a lot of baits on our own, like that whole micro finesse series.
Sure.
That's kind of homebrewed. We did all the design work. The Hellraiser is a bait that was actually invented by Ron Davis, who invented the original ChatterBait years and years ago. And he's like the coolest guy ever. I actually just spent a day with him on Lake Murray here in South Carolina last week. We were shooting some video and photos and, just kind of hanging out on the lake. Caught some bass and stripers and stuff like that, throwing the Hellraiser and some of his other baits. But his whole thing is, like, he will never use a store-bought bait. He just wants to use things that he creates himself. And, when you look at kind of all the baits that he's come up with, which is a lot more than what's on the market. We've got a couple of them. The original ChatterBait, the ChatterBait Willow Vibe. Yeah. He's done some other stuff for different companies. They've all got blades on them. So that's kind of like his deal, is putting blades on different baits and making them work. So after he came up with the ChatterBait, the wheels started turning. He said, well, how can I, get the same vibration, the same flash, the same feel that made the ChatterBait so popular in a topwater bait? And what he came up with is like, just completely unconventional. I don't know of anybody else that could come up with something. And when he gave us the original sample, he showed it to me. It's been about 3 years now. He was actually, we were on the lake. He was showing me some other baits, and he pulled this thing out, and it was like a wooden dowel rod, like sawed off at an angle with little eyelets like screwed into it. He had tied the feathers on the back himself, and he starts throwing this thing, and I was like, what on earth is that? Because, it's like the craziest action coming across the nose of the bait is above the water, and it's splashing and cutting, and kind of like a walking action, like a walking plug, but all you have to do is reel it. And then there's this subsurface blade that's kind of driving the whole thing, that's oscillating and flashing, and it's just so outside the box and different. And I just love, I mean, I saw it and like 10 seconds later, I was like, all right, we got to make this thing.
Amazing. Now, just out of curiosity, what does he do for, is he retired? What does he do for a living?
Yeah. He's retired. I think he's like 78 years old.
Okay.
Maybe I want to say.
So he's just tinkering away in his little shop and he's coming up with great baits like this, and you're bringing them to life.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like he pulls out these boxes and he's showing me all the baits that he's fished with, and he'll come up with one bait and get it dialed in and get it ready to go, and then he'll put it up and he won't fish it again.
Yeah.
Like we were sitting there talking about the Hellraiser, and I asked him, I was like, "Well, how do you like to fish?" And he's like, "I don't even fish it anymore. I finished that one, and now I'm working on this.
Now I'm on something else."
He showed me all those other baits. So, which I mean, I told him, I said, that's the opposite of me. Like, I find something that works and catches fish, and you won't catch me throwing anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
But he's just a tinkerer,
Yeah. That's great. I'd like to be a tinkerer. That could be fun. Probably get more sleep. Yeah. But all right. So speaking of the Hellraiser, let's take a call from someone that I recognize the phone number, and I'll just spare everyone the suspense. Let's get Gramps on the line here. What's going on, Gramps?
Hey, Rick. Hey, Daniel. How we doing tonight?
Good.
Man. How are you doing?
Man, I am awesome. I was going to talk about the Hellraiser last, but I have never seen a bait that is a combination of a pencil bait, a jitterbug, a rattle trap. I picked one up at American Legacy Fishing last weekend during the open house, and they know I'm all about everything Z-Man. But like everybody else, I'm like, you can't be serious. This cannot. And so I'd been out fishing all day. The only bite that I had in 6 hours of fishing was on my beloved jackhammer Mini Max. And it was just slow, but we were getting towards the evening, and I was like, time to grab a buzz bait or something. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to tie this. And Rick saw my Instagram, apparently, where I kind of strung them all together. And I'm like, I'm going to tie this ridiculous, just no way. And proceeded over the next 20 minutes to not just catch a limit of fish, but catch the biggest bass of the season in my new kayak just before sundown. So we took a day that was so slow and typical Indiana, transition to fall, just tough bite. And to just, I mean, I haven't put up the actual video. I just did a bunch of little, Instagram stories. But I mean, that thing is insane. I mean, to just the cast and retrieve would be enough for anybody to make one cast and they start reeling it. They'll be like, oh, I get it. But then I learned, like with any walking bait, if you really pull on it, it'll blow out of the water. And I had some of the most violent strikes. I mean, I've had all season. And I called my boy Graham at American Legacy because we have the kayak bass fishing national championships next. We leave Indiana on Sunday to go down, and I'm stopping by American Legacy on my way down to pick up about 4 more of those to make sure, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be throwing them. And just the action, like I said, it's like nothing I've ever seen, but it just freaking works.
Yep. It's one of those things that you got to throw it, you got to try it to get it. It's an odd looking bait, but what was your experience with the hookup ratio on it? Because that's been maybe the most impressive thing to me about it.
Yeah, I can't say that I missed a single fish that swung at it. I mean, I had 2 on the front and I think 3 or 4 on the back. But like I said, I haven't even gone back and looked at my footage yet because, again, I'm getting ready to head to Kentucky Lake. But I mean, Rick knows I'm about all things, Z-Man, and I kind of always have been. I love spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, jackhammers. I love the stealth when nobody else loved it. And I love the Big Blade, which was I tell a lot of people on my channel, I do basic, how-tos and, teach people to fish or, people who are coming back after it. They may have done it when they were kids and didn't know much about it. That's kind of the premise of my channel. But I also do a lot of kayak tournaments as well. But the Big Blade, I kind of treat like a Colorado bladed spinnerbait in those colder weathers. Right. Yeah. You get that big blade that's heavy to get it down there, and throw on a razor shads in the deal color. I mean, man, that's been one of my kind of like sleeper baits that I talk about them here on Monster Bass. But in this time of year, the main thing I'm throwing now, along with it's going to be a lot of the Hellraiser, is that Mini Max with a really small trailer to catch these shad spawn grow as these bass are feeding up. It's just a different. I need to order some heavier ones with that tiny blade, but man, it's just you think it's the same as everything else, but it's not. Ty Berger, who does the Monster Bass videos, does a good job of taking the chatterbaits and putting them underwater so you can hear the different sounds of the blades and stuff like that. And, people realize that they're all a little bit different. And, if everybody that's beating the lakes every weekend is throwing a jackhammer or a regular chatterbait, just that little bit of sound difference will make a difference. I mean, and I tell you what, the other thing that really got me this year that I didn't even know you guys made, but I'm partnered with Do It Mold, and they came out with this basically monster Midwest finesse Ned head. And that's when I learned that Z-Man makes a giant TRD. You talk about, I mean, the first time I paired that giant TRD up in the copper truce with one of the Neds that I made and dipping in chartreuse and was dragging it off points where you would typically drag a Carolina rig, that giant TRD was the bomb. And, a lot of tournament anglers know about throwing a copper truce big TRD on a Ned, and dragging them over rocks and catching a lot of fish. But those giant TRDs, I didn't know they were a thing until I had the need for one. And I was like, oh, they do make something that big. But I mean,
yeah, that's been kind of a sleeper for us.
Yeah, and a lot of people I don't think know about it, but man, putting that thing on a Carolina rig or like I was doing, basically making a giant Ned. And I'm not a Ned rig guy. I don't really throw them. I throw a drop shot more than anything. That's where I love your plastics for stuff like that. But that big one, it entices a bigger bite. And, as long as people learn, keep your soft plastics away from everything else that's in their bags, you're just going to catch fish. I mean, I should have known when the Hellraiser was actually launched at ICAST. I'm like, there's no way they would put out something that really didn't work. You guys have never done that. And by the time I was just like, let me tie this ridiculous thing on, I changed my mind real fast.
It looks ridiculous. I will give you that. But yeah, you tie it on and it's like the light bulb lights up,
Yeah, you just have to make one cast and reel it in, and you're like, oh. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Rick, I'll be having a video on that one coming out. I was hoping to do it this week, but I got too much tournament prep before I get on the road. So hopefully, after I get back from Kentucky Lake, when we do some, catch some fish down there too. But I'll be throwing a lot of Z-Man stuff down there, dragging those little crawls over the rocks, and I'll put that big bad boy to work in the mornings. That's for sure.
All right, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Gramps. Bring home the championship first, then you can make the video.
Gramps is just going down to get footage. I mean, my tournament days are behind me, but, I'm going to have a good time and meet, hook up with Hoover and Christine Fisher and, Flipmaster and all the big dogs.
Sure.
But I'm going to have a good time and going down with my brother and my buddy, and we're going to, throw on some Monster Bass swag and have a good time.
Love it. Love it. Well, I appreciate you calling in and drive safely, and I hope you have a great time down there.
And thank you for the support and for using our stuff. Good luck to you.
Oh, hey, you keep working with Monster Bass. This is a great combo. You guys are putting good product in boxes for new anglers. And, I believe everything that Rick does, and I believe obviously in everything that Z-Man puts out. So you guys are a great pair. You keep putting together good stuff, and I'll keep making little simple YouTube videos teaching people how to fish using your stuff. It's just that simple.
Thanks, Gramps.
Much appreciated.
All right, Rick, take care. I'll be watching.
All right, bye-bye. All right, I better get to this guy. He's been on hold 22 minutes. Hold on, let's see. Go ahead, caller. Hello? Oh, no.
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Did you have a question? Who am I talking with?
No. I'm kind of just here. Are you going to call the golden ticket?
Yeah, I'm going to call the golden ticket for sure. For sure. In fact, I'll do one right now for you. Ready? Ready?
All right.
The first golden ticket number is 23898. In fact, since you waited so long, I'll call.
Where do you?
What?
Where do you find the numbers?
Okay, so inside your box there was
on the ticket.
On the ticket, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it at the very top? Because mine says D8651.
Yeah.
W8523.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of different numbered tickets. There's some older ones and some newer ones. I think you're looking probably at last month, but don't worry, that number is still good.
All right.
Did you have a question for Daniel at all, or you just want to know about the golden tickets?
I was just waiting for the golden ticket.
All right, well, then I'm going to give you another one, okay? It's 08354. Now, let me ask you something. What's your name?
Mason.
Mason, where are you calling in from?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. And you love bass fishing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about bass fishing?
Being able to go out in a kayak and just throw baits into the water.
Nice. And do you have what's your go-to, do you have a go-to bait or a go-to technique?
Yeah, a Senko.
A Senko.
What
do you Texas rig it, or what do you do?
Texas rig.
Nice. All right. What's your PB?
4.5 pounds, I think.
Oof, it's pretty good. It's bigger than Jared's.
Yeah.
So keep at it, man, and make sure when you catch your next PB that you send it to me for Monster Bass Monday. Will you do that for me?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thanks, Mason. I appreciate you calling in.
No problem.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Mason. 22 minutes. Golden tickets. Thank you, Mason. I appreciate you. All right, we're gonna go all the way to California for this guy. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from and what's your PB?
Well, Daniel, Rick, it's T-Rex out here in California. My PB is a 7.9 on a largemouth bass, and I'm backing that up with a 6.3 black bass that I just caught a couple weeks ago on that Ragnar you know about.
Solid.
Daniel, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How about you?
Good. I don't really have, I do have a small question for you, but I'm a big fan of that willow vibe. Yeah, I really like awesome. That bait. And you guys aren't planning on getting rid of it, are you?
Not at all.
If you are, I'm going to stock up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting rid of it. You need to stock up. No, just kidding. But that's another Ron Davis. I was just trying to get you to buy some more of them. That was another Ron Davis creation right there. Actually, the day he was showing me the new Hellraiser was the day he was showing me the Willow Vibe for the first time. But killer bait. Glad you're turned on to it and using it.
Yeah, I've been using it for a while. Here in California, the shad this time of year like to drop down and hover on the bottom, and I'll drop that thing down there with shad colored Kitech on it, and just drag it through that and just pop it, make that willow vibe just get crazy in there, and man, I've been smashing those smallies and been smashing the spotted bass. The spotted bass just love that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to fish it, just along the bottom. The other thing is when they're schooling on top. I mean, you can just burn that thing along the top, even so that blade's breaking the surface. That's how we were catching them last week when we were fishing. It's just a super versatile bait. There's kind of no wrong way to fish it.
All right. Yeah, I just want to let you know that I really enjoy that. I've got bags full of the Z-Man stuff, so I've got chatterbaits by the handfuls, the willow vibes. I'm down to about 4 of them, so I need to get a few more. I just turned on my my fishing partner that I fish with. He never fished one before, and he kind of likes it too. He said he likes when he gets it on the bottom and he's pulling, you can feel it just in the water.
Mm-hmm.
He just loves it. So we got a big tournament coming up here at Millerton Lake, and we were up there Monday just getting a feel for the lake. I mean, we fish it all the time, but summertime it's always top water. So now it's getting cold up in the mountains there. So I turned him on to it. He loved it. So I'll probably be picking some of those up because he said, well, if you can get some, give me 4 or 5 of them. I said, you betcha. So cause I already got to order some more Ragnars for him. He loved the bone color Ragnar that Monster Bass puts out. So I'll be ordering some of those too. So, all right. Well, that's pretty much all I had. Is I call and tell you how much I love that bait. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you for
Rick,
spreading the word on it.
That is YouTube.
Rick,
yes, sir.
When are we going to come out with a Monster Bass shaky head?
It's in this month's box. You just don't have it because I don't have any boxes.
Okay. Well, you can just throw mine in a paper bag and mail it. I'm not picky.
Can I tell you something? You know how many people have literally either called. I got woken up 2 days ago at about 5:30 in the morning from someone on the East Coast because I give out my number whatever. It's my own fault. And he literally said the same thing. He's like, you don't need to send my stuff in a box. You can just throw it all in a bag and just mail it to me. And I was like, okay, I'll go out to the warehouse and I'll hand pick your order. I would love to do that, but half the people would kill me if I did that. Anyway.
Well, I'd never call you that early in the morning. I'd at least wait till 6.
Thank you, T-Rex. I appreciate that. All right, buddy.
All right. Well, you guys have a good evening. I'll be sitting here listening.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
We did that Willow Vibe in the takeover box last year.
We
Rick.
did.
That turned a lot of people onto it.
100%. There were so many people that were like, we sat here and we had a whole show about it. And once again, Gramps comes on. And I don't know if you know who Gramps is, but you guys should check out his video. I mean, the guy's a great teacher. Oh, yeah. And he's every time we talk about Z-Man, he's the first one to jump on. There's another guy in the chat. Hold on. Let's go to I mean, it says he's from Wisconsin, but I think he's not. I don't think he's in Wisconsin. This guy knows a thing or two about Z-Man too. Let's see. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from and what's your PB?
Where am I from? I'm from, I hate to say it, I'm just outside of Philadelphia, but soon to be upstate New York. Personal best, largemouth 13 pounds, personal best, smallmouth 8 pounds. You guys know who this is, smallmouth crud.
Oh, it's Travis Manson.
Oh, hey, Travis, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. I figured I'd jump on, say hi, and chat with you guys for a little bit. I'm actually 12 minutes from my destination right now after driving for about 5 hours straight. So fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at the situation, I'll be where I need to be, yet I'm not going to be fishing. I had a guide trip today on Lake Ontario, and we were in some pretty rough water. and I had a little issue with my trolling motor out there. So I guess I'm done guiding for a little while until I can drop this off at Thayer's Marine and get a replacement trolling motor put on early next week, hopefully.
Wow. Sorry to hear.
It's always something, but we'll get through it. I knew I should have had a backup, or maybe I just should have said, you know what, 30-mile-an-hour west winds. Maybe we keep the boat on the trailer today.
Or maybe you don't. You take them out to one of your secret spots and you give someone the time of their life like you did me that day.
Right. No, fishing's been really well, and we were in some protected waters. I mean, it wasn't like we were exposed, but we had to cross some pretty big waves to get there. And on the way back, it got pretty bad. We'll put it that way.
All right. So Travis, oddly enough, you and I were talking about the new finesse baits from Z-Man a while back. So it's kind of oh wait, you were on the show a couple weeks ago. That's probably why we were talking about it.
So somehow, I'm not sure if I know when I was on the show, I'm trying to think how the conversation just started. I know I wouldn't have just brought it up because I really wanted a good solid year to use that bait and kind of have a little bit of fun with it, if you will, before I let the cat out of the bag, right? But someone must have brought it up, and
I did.
I thought, you know what, why not? We'll talk a little bit about it. But, yeah, truth be told, as soon as the micro TRD came out and it was marketed towards the panfish anglers, I saw instantly a use for it in the smallmouth world. And I think it was late July, perhaps, when I got my hands on them for the first time. And I don't really go out anymore without having one tied on, ready to go. It's a real important presentation when you get around some fish that are either really pressured or they're just in one of those moods where it seems like nothing works, nothing that you're throwing, regular size or, I guess we'll call it your standard size bait. They just won't touch them. And I started experimenting with the micro TRD and just had a lot of good success with it for smallmouth lately.
That's awesome to hear, Travis, because I remember when we came out with the original size TRD, this is 7-8 years ago now, and people were laughing at it, saying that, nobody's going to fish a bait that small for bass. What are you doing with those crappy baits? And then we come out with a smaller one, and lo and behold, it works for smallmouth too, I mean, it's almost like you can't get it too small. Like you said, when they get finicky, they're not looking for a big meal. They're just looking for something little. I mean, how many people have caught their PBs on, a TRD? I mean, we'll probably see the same thing with these little baits.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, it's important to have the right setup. So you don't want to overpower that bait, of course. So I really like, depending on your person, what I guess your rod length, what you're used to. I like a 7-foot, but I really like a medium light when I'm throwing that. And I go up with your largest heads that you make for that. So I like the 1/10 size. And I'm going to pair that as far as line. Of course, I'm a light braid, so 5-pound braid. And I'll go to about a 6-pound, where normally I use 8 a lot. I'll go to a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. I'm sure I could get by with a 4 or 5-pound leader as well, but the 6 is kind of where a lot of people's comfort levels are as far as the lightest that they would go. And I do that for really one main reason. I feel like that smaller presentation, the smaller plastic, I think that smaller diameter line is going to allow that to get a lot more reaction. I'm not throwing the 6 because I'm afraid the smallmouth are going to see the line. I'm really throwing it because I want a little bit better action on the fall, and also how I'm retrieving that micro TRD over these finicky smallmouth. I think it pairs well together. And I'll fish that. I fished as deep as 30 feet with that 110. Now, keep in mind, when you're fishing at that deep, it's going to take an awful long time to get that bait down to the proper depth. Meaning, once you make that long cast over that structure or whatever you're targeting, I keep that spool open and keep feeding line. And a lot of times, you're not even quite sure exactly when it's on the bottom. But once I'm confident that it's down there, I'm just slowly dragging it and then dead sticking it. Drag, dead stick, perhaps open the bail again in case I'm still not sure. And I'm just waiting for the slightest tick, and it's going to be the slightest bite that you can imagine. And when you're confident that that fish has the bait, you reel into them with kind of a soft, but you want to be assertive, and then you want to reel up and get tension on as quick as possible. And that's the way I found a lot of success, with that micro TRD and fishing it that way deep. But I've also caught plenty of fish shallow, sight fishing for cruisers with that setup as well. And, green pumpkin, yoga pants, those are my standard colors. You can't go wrong. Daniel, I just want to thank you guys for bringing that to the market.
Yeah, appreciate you trying it for that kind of application. I mean, that's, like I was saying before you called in, I mean, those little micro baits catch pretty much everything, but it's really cool, hearing about somebody using them in 30 feet of water, and just listening to you talk about the technique. It makes complete sense, but it's not even really something that we contemplated with that bait, which is like the coolest thing about it is, hearing all these ways that, guys like you are getting it dialed in.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some other micros on the market that you sell, but I'm going to keep to myself for a little bit yet. But if you guys want to get creative, there's a lot of opportunities to try those other ones. Some that you may look at and be like, "What the heck is this thing? It looks like some type of bug." But if you put that on a little drop shot, I think you'll find some success with that too.
Good stuff.
Certainly sounds like it's worth it. That's great stuff, Travis. And, I know we've talked before about, different bait ideas and stuff like that. And this micro finesse thing for us is kind of just a really, new category for us and something we're hoping to grow. So I'll be curious as you play around with it more to just kind of hear your thoughts and ideas on where we can take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys taking my call. I'm going to let you guys get back to it. I'm going to drop this boat off and load the truck up with everything that's in it. Hopefully it'll be a couple days and I'll be back on the water.
Travis,
Good
question
luck with
for
the
you.
trolling motor thing.
Yeah. Travis.
Thank you.
Did you find a house?
Yes, I did. We put an offer in, but we're a little. Honestly, I could care less about the house. It's the land to build on in the future, but I do need a place to stay by July, and I'd like to have. Yeah, long story short, we're working on it. Is it ideal? No, it's a 2-car garage. I could fit the boat in one side, but I guess for a temporary place that we might be in for 2 years or so, it could work. But I'm not. I'm still looking. Man. I drove around the other day in the afternoon, just looking at woods, fields, places off country roads, and I got this map that gives me every landowner and the acreage that they have. So I marked every piece of property I thought I could envision my home being built there at some day. And I plan on this week to just do a little cold calling and say, hey, wondering if you wanted to sell that property on Clark's Road. Mr. Jack Miller.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll do the old cold call.
All right.
And see if that gets me anywhere. But
Well,
fingers crossed, man.
all right. Well, good luck with that. If all else fails, give me a call. Maybe I can chip in for I don't know. I can build a tiny house on the property, so when I need a place to go to, I can go live in the woods by your house.
There you go. There you go.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for calling in. I
Sounds
appreciate
good.
it.
All right, we'll talk to you.
All right. Bye, Travis. I love Travis.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it's been probably 10 months since I talked to him, but he's always every time I talk to him, he's got some different idea or off the wall technique that he's trying, and it you can tell with Travis the wheels are always turning.
Always turning, yeah. And I'd say 8 out of 10 of his ideas are amazing, and the other 2 make you scratch your head. I love the guy. He's got really great ideas. Some of them I'm like, why hasn't anyone ever done that before? Yeah. And then we'll talk about it online, and everyone's like, yeah, there's nothing like that. And I'm like, all right, Travis, I'll look into it for you. He's a good dude. So do you have time for a couple more calls?
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to go to Texas. Let's see who this is. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from? I think it's Texas.
Hey, Rick. This is Chauncey Cotton. I'm from Texas, here in Central Texas. And I got 2 questions for each of you.
Ooh.
Daniel, I'll start with you first.
All right.
First off, I want to say Z-Man is a great bait company. I really love the durability of the plastic. It's the best in the market. Well, with the one question, I know all the fishermen in the nation love conservation, and we love the sport. And with that, is there something in the works for the plastics to be biodegradable in the future?
Yeah. So we're always looking at new options, new cutting edge materials. I mean, the great thing about ElasTech is that it's incredibly more environmentally friendly than traditional plastics. It actually does break down over time, not in a short enough time period to be biodegradable. But most of the other plastics that are out there are actually pretty highly toxic and can harm fish. ElasTech is 100% non-toxic. If a fish swallows it, it's not going to swell up in the belly of a fish like other plastics will. The fish will be able to pass it. There's actually lakes in Texas where, or one lake in particular, it's a private lake where the owner has banned all plastics except for ElasTech. Because we did a story on it last year, just because he was finding that, fish were eating plastics that had, been pulled off of hooks or discarded into the lake, and was causing them to die. And these are big fish. It's a big fish lake, 8 to 10 pound bass, where he's finding them dead with plastics in their belly. So he only lets them use ElasTech bait. So we're always looking at new options, new materials, new alternatives. So I can't say there's something in the works right now, but we're already kind of a step ahead of the rest of the competition in that arena, I think. But that's a really good question, though, and it's something that's important to us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's that's in the back of my mind every time I lose a plastic bait under the water and stuff. That's it's literally just down there until either a fish eats it, or 2, it just floats up to the top of the water and somebody just picks it up and throws it in the trash. I'm always a big conservationist. I love doing what I can.
Yeah, and we're the same way. I mean, because we love the outdoors and fishing. But the other point is that ElasTech floats, so it's not going to sink to the bottom. I mean, if one pulls off the hook, it's going to float. You can grab it off the surface, or it's going to wash to the bank where it won't be in the water anymore, rather than just sinking and lying in the bottom of the lake for years and years.
What, Chauncey,
I think if you guys get to the market before everybody else on that, I think you guys will hit a home run with that. I really do.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing. When
Another question I got for you.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. The second question is the baits are really durable, but the only drawback to the baits, the plastics anyway, is when they're in my boat. And I know I can't put them near any other plastics because they definitely just melt and they stick together. Is there something that I could do besides separating them that you guys are working on, or a trick I could do or something like that?
Yeah, and that's a really good question because because Elastec's a completely different kind of material. It doesn't play well with others, so you definitely don't want to put them in the same tackle box. And we get people that call our customer service guy all the time. My bait's melted, so it's something that we hear a lot. I keep the one thing that we recommend is keep the baits in their original packaging. Don't put them in a
that's what I usually do.
Box or a tray. Yeah. So, and we make some, you don't have to use our stuff, but we make some bait binders and lockers where you can store all the bags, or a lot of people use different Tupperware containers. But my baits sit in my boat year round here in South Carolina, where it gets pretty hot. I mean, it's not uncommon for it to be 100 degrees in the summer. I mean, my boat's outside all the time. And, I just leave the baits in their original package. I make sure that they're not, compressed or jammed anywhere where they can get deformed, just kind of, lined up neatly. And, I have never had a bait melt. So, we hear it all the time, but I think if you just keep them separate in the original package, out of the direct sunlight on a really hot day, and just, make sure you don't drop a Zoom worm or a Yamamoto Senko in that bag with them, and you should be good to go.
I appreciate it. Thank you for those answers. And I really hope that you definitely get to the market before everyone else for a biodegradable plastic, man. That'd be amazing.
Well, it's really great to hear from somebody, that's conservation minded like that, because we share that same ethic, I guess. I mean, it's really important to us. One thing that was really exciting for us this past year is we figured out a way to, recycle all of our material. It's actually being used to make soles of shoes. So we don't throw and none of it goes into a landfill anymore. Wow. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets us excited. So it's great to, hear from somebody that's like-minded.
Nice. I appreciate it. Thanks for those answers.
Yeah, sure thing. Thank you. Appreciate you using our stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And Rick,
yes,
I got two questions real quick.
Okay.
Before I get off here, is there any hoodies that are coming right before winter so we can get different hoodies?
Yeah.
I would love for you to make that. Remember that sticker you sent with the MILF on it? Man, I like the fish. That would be awesome for a hoodie.
I don't know that I'll make that one. I've got some new ones coming out.
All right.
That one probably won't make a hoodie. It's not exactly on brand. It's good for a sticker
Gotcha.
though.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, some new hoodies, man. That'd be great for the upcoming winter.
I got two new ones that just came out today.
The challenge coin.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead. What was your question about the challenge coin?
What do you got planned up your sleeve for the challenge coins? Because I know that everybody else don't know about them yet.
I don't exactly have that formalized in my head. Remember, I wasn't in the military. I didn't serve, so the idea behind the challenge coins means more to someone like you than it does to me. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It just means I've never been around it. I didn't experience it. I've never received one. So it's hard for me to really understand, all right, if I do this, will people get it? You know what I mean? I think and I should take maybe.
Okay. I go ahead.
I was going to say, maybe you and I could grab, the 30 minutes. We can chat on the phone. We can talk about it because I really need to just grasp it better. Because again, remember, like I've never received one. I've never, other than a handful of them, I've never been a part of it. So it's hard for me just to figure that out, to really have it land for me. Does that make sense?
Yep, I understand.
So.
All right. Well, I appreciate both of y'all's questions. I'll get off here so somebody else can call in. But
well, Chauncey, I
appreciate it.
I
Thanks,
appreciate.
Rick. Thanks, Daniel.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, Chauncey. Appreciate it.
Yep. I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Bye.
Hope your family's well, man.
Thanks. Yours.
Bye. All right. Okay, we got 3 more. Let's pound through these. I guess we're going to Florida this time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Who is it?
This is Jesse Wright in Largo, Florida.
How's it going, man?
Oh, no. I think I know what this question
yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Daniel. How are you?
How's it going, Jesse?
Good, man. Hey, I just saw
think
your
Jesse's
guys'
going to ask for a certain bait in a certain color, I have a feeling.
I'm not going to do that to you.
Okay.
I just wanted to. I saw you guys doing the video online. I just want to call in and say those micro finesse baits are awesome. They're catching baby tarpon down here in Florida. Great little bait. All of them are working. They're catching snook and they're catching tarpon. I just want to throw that out there. So if anybody's wanting to fish for little tiny juvenile tarpon, those baits will get the job done.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see because that's another thing that we didn't really envision people using these micro baits for is tarpon. And I know they're just the little ones, but that's still pretty cool, Jesse.
How little is a baby tarpon?
The ones that we've been usually getting range anywhere between, I don't know, say 2 pounds up to 5 pounds. I mean, they're not really big at all. I mean, they're in little tiny creeks.
Sure.
They're on like freshwater brackish ponds. And those little micro baits, when they first came out, I saw them. I was like, dude, that's going to crush the tarpon. I mean, I like fishing for crappies, so I mean, I'm going to get them for crappie, but I'm going to use them for tarpon as well. And first trip with it, I caught one. So I was like, perfect. This worked out just fine.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was really excited to see that. It's just so cool seeing what people are using these baits for. But little known fact here, Rick, is we have a color named after Jesse called the Right Stuff, WRIGHT. Jesse asked us for years and years to make this color. And not only did we make it, but we named it after him. And I was actually, that's what I've been fishing here for the last few weeks, Jesse, catching redfish on it. So thank you for getting us to make that color because it's one of my favorites.
Wow.
It's next to the pearl color. We sell it at Betts, and it sells. That's probably our number one color. And that's not from me just pushing it, but from people actually going out and fishing with it. They're catching bass, they're catching redfish, they're catching tarpon, trout. I have guys going to Georgia and Carolinas and stuff, and they're catching bass with it. So it's like that color's catching fish everywhere, and it's just really cool to see that, you know?
Yeah, it's a great color. And what I was alluding to when I heard that it was Jesse is he's been hounding us to make our hula sticks in that color, which maybe we'll do one of these days, but it's kind of fun not to do it because then he keeps on asking for it and getting fired up about it and that sort of thing. So, yeah, Jesse has been a good friend of ours for a while, and I got to thank him for getting us to make that color because I've been catching a lot of fish on it.
It's all love. It's been a color that, gosh, I've been using since I was a kid, and it's a really popular color here in Florida. So I appreciate you guys coming out with it, and to even put my name on the package without making me pass out. That was incredible. Something I'm going to remember for my whole life.
That's awesome. Yep.
It's amazing.
But yeah, I just wanted to call in and say hey. I saw it on my Facebook, and I was like, hey, might as well call and say hey, and hope everybody's doing good.
Thanks for calling, Jesse. It's good talking to you, and appreciate all your support.
Wow. Yeah, appreciate you calling in. Thank
Always,
you.
Good. Yeah, no problem, guys. Have a great show.
All right, thanks
for taking my call.
Yeah. Wow, we got famous people calling in. This is great. We got we're gonna take 2 more calls because I want to be respectful of the fact you're on the East Coast. So, all right. Should we do it? All right. Let's take our next caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, Rick and Daniel. Pleasure to talk to you, Daniel. Glad to be on the show today. You know, I'm next to the SoFi Stadium. This is Mr. Gambit 2000, and I am just a guy who comes to Mustard Bass and let them know what kind of good job they're doing. So I come online and let them know so they can keep doing the good job that I'm asking them to do. Because when Rick introduced his Monster Bass VIP list, he was giving out deals. So I said, look, I'll come on and I'll tell people about those deals. So when you're giving those deals and giving guys discounts on the date, I'll come on and talk about it. I don't mind doing it. That's my fun time. So coming in, knowing that you got a guy who can get products out like you've got. And I'm going to tell you right now, my man, you don't have a halo over your head, but I'm going to tell you right now, you should have a halo over your head right now, because there's many guys has dropped to the floor of their bass boat and start praying because divine intervention took place from Z-Man because they won money with your bait. So don't think that. They don't think that your baits are number one when it comes to them winning money with your bait, whether it be a Ned rig or a chatterbait. So, you know, I've seen Brian Swift talk about this. Now, I'm not a very religious guy, but I am spiritual. So when you know you got a bait that works, you go, oh, my God, it's one of those. You put out a lot of baits that guys say, oh, it's one of those. Because you get a fish over and over, it's one of those. Now, I'm an older guy. I've been throwing your baits probably since the older 2000s. And I had, at the time, a curly tail green pumpkin worm that I put on a jig, and I was snap jigging it off the bottom of a little pond here in Los Angeles. Now, snap jigging it off the bottom there, I was getting a fish every time. And an old dude, a couple of old dudes beside me said, what are you using? I said, I don't know. There's a bait they call Z-Man, and it's a worm. I'm snap jigging off the bottom, and a bass is jumping on it every time. So when it was happening, I said, all right, it's one of those. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened. For 2 straight weeks, I'm throwing this bait. Didn't change the bait. Didn't change the worm. Same bait, same hook, same everything. Still catching fish in the springtime using a Z-Man product. I know it was something special at that time. And when guys started catching fish in tournaments and winning, I said, that's why they say it's divine intervention when they win those checks. Divine intervention took place. So you got your setup there in your shop there, man, in your house. You should have paint a halo in the back of it. So when you come on, people go, look, I am the president of the company that gives divine baits. So it may not win you money, but when you catch bass and fish over and over, you'll be thanking me in the end.
That's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that.
Well, that's where we're at with this. That's what I ain't going to take too long, but I'm going to take you right now. All I'm going to ask, because we done talked about a little divine intervention, and we talked about a little spiritual stuff. How did the name Hellraiser come in? Because I'm going to tell you, I explain these names to my children, and they always know I talk to my kids about this all the time when I say the name. Go, how did the Hellraiser name come up? I said, I don't know. I'll ask him. If I ever get to the guy, I'll ask him, how did the name Hellraiser come into play?
Yeah, so what we always do when we're trying to come up with a bait name is we just have these brainstorming sessions where, you know, everybody on we've got like 6 or 7, maybe 8 people now kind of on our sales, marketing, product team, and everybody, we just throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks. And we just really like that name. Anything that where we can slide a Z into it also, sure. Like we did with the Hellraiser, you know, used a Z instead of an S. But we just thought that was a perfect bait. I know some may consider it to be a little bit off color, but the thing just raises hell on the surface. So it was pretty descriptive and catchy, we thought, and we could work the Z in there, so it just kind of stuck. You should have heard some of the names we didn't pick, though. Some of them were pretty bad.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, my man. So I'm going to say officially, you're going to hear it here first, but they haven't talked about it before. When it comes to Z-Man baits, I'm going to say it like this. When you want to catch fish and you want to be in a tournament saying, I need to win something, go to a divine intervention set, pick up yourself a dead rig or a chatterbait, and try to catch some fish, and ask for some divine intervention before you finish the tournament and see if you win something.
I'm with you on that. Hey, when in doubt, when nothing else works, I'll pick up that Ned rig myself.
Right on. Right on.
Well, that's good to know, my man. I'll tell you, it's good talking to you, Daniel and Rick. All right, now it is a holiday time, so you can get away with the halo right now. It's almost Halloween, so you can get away with the halo thing right now. And it's chalking up to Halloween. And look, this is my Halloween outfit. I'm doing divine intervention stuff. Take care, guys. Love you now.
All right, thanks, Mr. Gambit.
Thank you.
That guy, I should hire him. All right, he's been on hold for 19 minutes. Let's make it happen. I'm going to need to put something on the screen when I tell you to, though. Okay. All right, so Daniel, we got a guy on here. We're going to ask him a couple questions. He's going to have lots to say about Z-Man, but then we're going to probably talk about his mom and what his mom made for dinner, because he's called in 76 times. So we've had 77 shows. He's missed one. We're not, we're not upset about the fact that you missed one show and you forgot to call in. Maybe a little bit, but all right, let's go ahead, Brendan. How's it going, Brendan?
Hey, going pretty good, Rick. And hello, Daniel.
Hey, Brendan. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? You guys been really killing it on the Hellraiser. That's an amazing bait.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're crazy excited about that one, if you can't tell.
Oh, yeah. It's a super, super dope bait. Ron Davis did an amazing job with designing that thing. There's so many different ways you can fish it. It's a really dope bait. So I'm glad you guys created it. The only thing I want you guys to do, and I know small baits sell, but could you guys make a larger one, like maybe in the 8 or 9 inch range?
We may or may not have something like that in the works. I may or may not have prototypes sitting in my office. So, yeah.
Ooh,
it's
breaking news.
That would be a really good one for the musky guys and big baits.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So you're thinking like an
I'm really
8 or 9 inch size is what you'd like to see?
Yeah, definitely something big, something that those bass don't see as often, kind of like the Mega Bass Mega Dog, the big topwater walking baits, but it's just something different, like big whopper floppers.
Sure.
They've seen that kind of stuff, and I'm sure it'd be great for the musky guys too. That's what I thought about it. I was like, that looks very similar to like some type of musky bait. Like it looks musky-esque. They're really dope baits.
Yeah,
so,
we got that reaction from a lot of
question.
People. A lot of people said that. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good bait though. I like it. Yeah. So I had one question about a bait that I'm not sure if you guys are already designing it or not, but it's kind of a thing over in Japan at the moment, and it's where you take, and I'm pretty sure you know what a glide bait is, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that maybe we could do something over in the U.S. about doing a soft glide bait. Now, I know Gangcraft and a couple of other guys over there in Japan have made some, but we don't have one here in the U.S. And I think with your technologies like the super strong stretchable plastic that you guys have that also floats could act as a ballast. So you can do like a double injection on the inside of it, put a lot of salt in the belly color, and then put just your regular plastic in the top, so that'll ballast it and make it kind of even out so it runs true. And then you can make it have maybe a wide glide, or maybe you can do it like a jerk bait, pretty much like a large jerk bait, and you can twitch it really hard. I think that would be something interesting to do. And then you could run like a mesh throughout the entire inside of the bait, kind of like the bounty fish, but then run it entire through the inside of the bait. And then that would strengthen it up, along with having your plastic, which is super strong, just make it a little bit more rigid so the water flows over it evenly. I think that would be a super cool bait, and it'd definitely be a fish catcher for sure.
Yeah, I think it's not something we're working on currently. We've got a lot of different balls up in the air right now, but I think that's something that's got some merit to it for sure. I mean, I hadn't seen it done before, especially out of material like ours. And the idea that you had about
I think
laminating a salted plastic over a unsalted plastic to give it balance, I think that's something that we've kind of been playing around with a little bit as well. So Yeah, I think it's definitely got merit.
Yeah, I think that'd be something cool.
I have a
awesome.
question
I'd love
for
to
you,
see that.
Brendan.
I love that kind of stuff.
Brendan, I got a question for you. What kind of R&D class is your mom giving you at homeschool? I mean, that just didn't sound like, coming from your average, your average 16-year-old. Every week you call in and you've got some knowledge that you're dropping. I don't know what your allowance is and how much you're spending on all those baits, but clearly you're doing something right. So that's pretty good.
I mean, it just takes some math and some messing around with stuff, I love doing that kind of thing. I drill holes in baits and have fun with it, just kind of experiment.
Yeah.
So, and then
that's how,
I'm not
that's
sure
how
if
all this stuff starts.
Pretty sure you want to know. Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm sure that's how a lot of great baits were found out about or invented. It's from tinkering around with other baits that have already existed and just improve upon them. And that's something important that I'm not seeing too much of in the industry at the moment. But yeah, I'm excited for some cool stuff to happen. I'm excited for it. So yeah. So I'm assuming you want to know what I had for dinner, right, Rick?
No, I've got something else for you.
Okay.
Hit it, Jared. Look at that. Brown bait company. Look on the screen, Brandon.
Oh, I'm not watching. Sorry.
Oh. Well, all right. Well, listen, Brendan, you're ruining all my surprises.
Sorry.
You sent me some hand-poured baits, and I wanted to show you that they were up on the website. So your brown bait, companies come to life.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Rick.
Yeah, well,
I'm excited to have them on there. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. You can go search the website; you'll find them there. Now,
okay.
I got to admit, they're going fast, so you might need to send me more than a dozen.
Well, I'm not sure. I'll have to figure out some stuff I got to do. I'm trying to make them so I can make them faster. That's the only problem at the moment.
Sure, buddy.
So,
yeah. Listen,
awesome.
I'm just
I'm
just happy that I could help you bring your baits to life. So I hope the people that buy them.
Thank you.
I hope the people that buy them love your baits, and I hope you keep tinkering because I think you got a bright future in the business if that's the direction you choose.
Thank you so much. How about we work on selling some of my $150 swim baits on there?
Oh, hey, listen, I think we already talked about it. I'm not Tackle Warehouse, so. But if you want to put them up on if you want to put them up on the website, and if someone wants to buy them, I'm more than happy to have my warehouse fulfill them for you. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. That means a lot to me.
You're very welcome, buddy. So, what did your mom make for dinner?
Well, we had omelets with sausage, bacon, cheese, and I had jalapenos. No one else did, and we had biscuits on the side, homemade, everything, eggs from the chickens. It was amazing.
Wow. All right. And your mom knows someday we're doing a live show from either from your house or we're gonna do live from the dinner table, right?
Yep, we're gonna do that. I'll set up the camera on the chair.
All right.
So
can't wait, bro.
All right. Well, I won't take any more of your time. So thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. All right. Good night, buddy. I mean, I'm always amazed at that kid.
A sharp kid.
16.
Yeah, that's some.
I mean, his ideas were.
He's got some ideas. Yeah,
he sure does. I mean, he'll text me. He texted me on Tuesday at, I don't know, 8 o'clock my time, which is 11 o'clock his time. He's like, "You got a second?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he'll call with an idea. He'll call and ask if he can help me. I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I love this. I love go-getters. So, pretty good, right, Jared? Did you learn a little bit about baits tonight? Yeah, that's how they do it. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, listen. I really want to thank you for coming on the show today. I'm grateful for the partnership that we have between the brands and your willingness to work with us, and it really means a lot because there's a handful of brands that we spend a lot of time talking about, and yours is one of them. And so I'm really grateful for the support, and I just want to thank you for coming on the show and talking with us. I think we all learned a lot, and I wish you the best in the upcoming year, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, likewise. And thank you, Rick. I mean, I really dig what you guys do. Something we wanted to be a part of from the start. And it's awesome to, be able to utilize Monster Bass and your following as a way to get our new baits into people's hands and expose people to what we're doing. So thank you. And it's really cool to, have to be on the show. I'm glad to do it anytime, and to have people call in that are obviously using our stuff and familiar with our stuff. So that's really, really rewarding. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, all right. So I'll probably see you again in the new year, and we'll have you on when we do the takeover. And
sure thing.
I hope you have a really great holiday season, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Thank
you, Rick.
Thanks,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
All right. Bye-bye. Anytime Daniel will come on the show, I'm always like, yes, please. Yes, please. I mean, you get guys on like Daniel or Travis or Ty Berger or Alex Rudd, or guys that just like, they got stories and they're just knowledgeable or innovative. And, like I've always said, I don't necessarily want to work with the biggest YouTubers on the planet. I want to work with good people, and he's good people. And so that was great. And so that was great. All right, we're going to go to, we've got a new segment that we're going to start. And so I want to bring in my next guest. And this next segment's all about, it's kind of like Monster Bass Monday. However, it's all about crushing your PB. And we believe that we help more people. And when I say we, I mean you, the Monster Bass community, because it's not just about me. It's not about the box. It's not about the baits. It's about all of us as a whole. We all love fishing. We're all passionate about what we do. We're all willing to help one another. And when you bring people together like that, you create a community that's unlike any of the others that are out there. And I believe that we're building something that's truly remarkable, truly special. And it's why brands like Z-Man partner with us too, because of you guys, right? It's our commitment to education. It's our commitment to fishing. It's our commitment to putting out quality products, surrounding ourselves with quality people, and coming together the way that we are to celebrate our love for one thing. And so our next guest, she recently caught her PB, and we want to bring her on. So let's give a warm welcome for Hannah. What's going on, Hannah?
Hey. Nothing. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Are you nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, don't be nervous. We're easy. So you recently caught your PB. Some of us know about it. Some of us don't. And what I want to do is I want to show part of the video. And then I want to talk about like how you felt and what was going through your mind, and how, everything that came to be, and what you attribute to like, that special day. All right. So let's cut to this video clip, everyone. Okay. And now everyone bear with me, and I'm going to share a video with you. Go ahead.
It's fine.
So what's going through your mind right now?
I honestly thought it was...
Oh my God! Oh! Alien is a 10! I can't even get it in the net! It won't even go in the net!
Now at this point, do you know that it's a 10, or you think?
Yes.
I'm not crying like a. He's so big. His mouth is bigger than my head.
What was your PB prior to this?
8.6.
Ugh, still bigger than mine.
You don't even know how big this fish is right now. Like, I can't. It won't even fit in the net.
Did you get a bigger net?
Elliot, you ready?
No.
Oh my God, here we go. Hold on.
Are you ready?
Oh my God. Oh.
Good Lord, sweetie.
Elliot.
You won't even fit in the freaking frame.
So big. Your eyes are beautiful, baby. I just want you to know how beautiful you are. You is the biggest and most beautiful bass I have ever seen in my whole entire life.
Did you kiss
And
it?
I just want you to know that I love you so much. The lip grip won't even fit, Elliot. All right. You ready? You ready?
Oh my God. I'd be so worried about it falling off.
I can't get it to go.
Gonna need a bigger scale.
What is it, sweetie? What is it? What is it, sweetie?
10.7.
10.7.
I gotta put my glasses on so y'all quit watching me cry.
All right.
That was
So clearly that was a really exciting moment for you. Now, how much longer did you keep that fish out of water? A questionable period of time?
I kept having to like hang off the side of the kayak to keep it in the water, and then while Elliot was trying to get his camera out.
Okay, what did you catch it on? And what did you catch it on?
I caught it on a Berkeley jig. I can't tell you what kind because I want to hold that out as a secret. But the new Berkeley jigs have the scent built in, and so I was just testing it out, and it just bit it. I really wasn't even like fishing at that point. I was literally talking about how stressed out I was in nursing school, and I was sitting there doing like this with my rod, and it just bit it.
Amazing.
So, come out of nowhere.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me if there's one thing that you've taken from Monster Bass that's helped you catch more fish. Can you tell me what that is?
Well, and I guess it's like sort of two different things. So I really like the pamphlets in the box that give you the little how to fish it. I think that's a really, really good thing that Monster Bass is doing. Also, the how-to videos that the team is putting out, those are some great, great tools to utilize. That's probably my two favorites.
All right. Are you going to tell us what body of water you caught that lake, or you caught that big fish on?
Well, I call it the Pig Factory.
The Pig Factory.
Earth.
America. I like that. What are the chances you catch that big pig again?
Very high. A 15 was caught out of it recently. Yeah.
Do they have video of that? Because I have never seen a 15-pound bass.
But I will say that I'm planning the trip for the pre-spawn, and I am excited.
Amazing.
Yep,
Amazing.
I'm excited. Probably going to get a lot of hate for that too, but it'll be okay.
Why?
I got so much hate for that fish.
Why? Oh my God, I'm so excited to celebrate the fact that you caught that. The pure joy and like I loved I loved that you cried. I loved that you were jumping up and down. I loved it because if I caught a 10-pound bass, I'd be doing the same thing. My PB's 5'1". So listen, yeah, see, you're laughing at me. I get it. No, listen, I love the fact that you were so passionate about it. That was amazing.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that, like, a lot of hate that I got was that I'm just doing this for sponsors and or other things, I guess. And people, if it didn't showcase how much I love bass fishing, then people just really, they just don't get it.
Or they've never caught a double-digit bass. So for all you haters out there, like, ugh, really? Like, because I'm pretty sure anybody that's catching a double-digit bass for the first time, something that big, is going to, like, freak out. I'd probably get so excited. I'd get the fish up to the boat. I'd probably throw the rod and the reel over my shoulder and go grab the fish. And the next thing I know, I'm like, I got a rod and a reel underwater. Like, that was amazing. And
jumping out of the kayak for that fish.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So, well, I want to say thank you for coming on. I know it was last minute, but I figured I want to have a regular session like this. I want to celebrate people. I want to celebrate people in the community that are catching big fish, and I couldn't think of anyone better than you, because the emotion, the love, it was raw and it was pure and it was everything that it should be. And I wanted to celebrate you. So thanks for coming on, and thanks for sharing that video with us, because it was really amazing. And congratulations on the double digit club. So one day maybe I can step up.
That's my next goal.
What's that?
I've hit that 15.
Oh.
Going after it.
All right. Well, when you do, I need the scoop so I can share that. Well, after you're done sharing it all.
We can get you on an actual big fish.
Ooh. Listen. It's people like Robbie AM that fish those golf course ponds, and every day he's crushing my PB. I hate him. I hate him so much. I don't really hate him, but it's just like every day that guy posts a picture that's bigger than anything I've ever caught. I'm like,
Then Florida fish is a whole different species.
Totally. So listen, there might be haters out there, Hannah, but you got a lot of love in the chat right now, and I'm seeing nothing but congratulations and shout outs for you. So congrats on double digits, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Hannah. Have a great night. What's that?
Too.
What?
I said that rod to land in my hand too.
One more time. I didn't hear it.
I need that rod to hurry up and land in my hand.
I need those rods to hurry up and land in my hands too. So, all right, Hannah. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you. See you.
Bye. All right. That was Hannah with a 10-pound beast. A beast. All right. Let's do him. 16424 18303 24519 12077. Jared, are these showing up on the screen? Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure because I don't see it. All right. Thank you, Army Outdoors. You're right. We don't see a lot of female anglers amplified the right way. Normally we just see them, the South Florida girls. And I think we need to celebrate more of the ones that are like really great sticks and have celebrate moments like that. So if you're sitting at home and you've got video of yourself crushing your PB, I don't care if you're calm, cool, and collected. I mean, hey, maybe you're that good. I want to showcase it. So make sure you hit us up. Marketing@monsterbass.com. I'd love to have you as a guest, show your video. I want to say congratulations to Greg Whitaker, who also caught his new PB last week. He doesn't have video of it, but he did send me the pictures. And I thought that was really excellent. Listen, that was a great show today. Great show. Let's see what we got here. I'm just looking in the chat. Oh, it's Fitz. Hey, Fitz. Oh, Mr. Gambit, no, the new lures that I've got, I'm going to give them away. Maybe I should just split them up and give them all away to different people. Yeah, as Gramps said, no one's giving away that free rod and a reel from Bass Fishing Headquarters. It's a scam. So, all right, guys. So next week, I got another great show for you. My guest next week is, I think you guys know him. He's a pretty good angler. I want you to think about your questions. I want you to get them all ready. My guest next week is Brandon Polinick, and we're excited to have him back on the show. He called me yesterday and said that he wanted to, that he had some availability and he wanted to squeeze it in before what he was doing. Oh, wait, no. Fishing the Southeast. No. Next week is Brandon Polinick, and the week after is the Burley Boys. So we got 2 great shows in a row, and I'm lining up some more, and yeah, it's going to be great. What else do I got? I think that's it. Should we go? Let's call it a day. All right, guys, listen. Thank you so much for letting me do this. Again, I don't get to do it without you. I love you all. I'm grateful for your support. And honestly, thank you so much for your patience and understanding and the fact that the boxes were delayed in shipping. In fact, I gave them instructions that I don't care what the color of the boxes are, because we got the new boxes in, and just pack the stuff up and ship it out. I don't care if you get the wrong color box. I just want to make sure you get the right bait. So thank you. And I'll see you next week. Have a good time. What did I just say?
Sweep the leg.